So guys, welcome to the Garden of Gethsemane. And you'll see right behind me the eastern gate. And it was from here that Jesus was arrested and carried off by the soldiers right there. And that's what I want to tell you. There's something that we read that we look over and glimpse over, but I'm going to tell you a nice little tidbit that's going to make the light bulb come on. How's that? It's in John chapter 18, verse 12 through 16, and this is from the New Living Translation. It says, "Then the soldiers, along with their commanding officer and the temple guards," that's a lot of soldiers, "arrested Jesus, tied him up. First they took him to Annas, the father-in-law of Caiaphas, who was the high priest that year. Caiaphas was one that had advised the Jewish leaders, it's better that one man should die for the people. Simon Peter followed Jesus along with another disciple. This other disciple was acquainted with the high priest and was allowed to enter the high priest's courtyard with Jesus. Peter, however, had to remain outside the gate until the disciple who knew the high priest spoke to the woman guarding the gate and let Peter in." So there's your story. You're looking at it. Who was the other disciple? When you look at the other Gospels, it says when Jesus was arrested and he was taken up here to the high priest, the other disciples fled. They ran away. So there's only two disciples left that didn't run away. One was Peter, that just got let into the gate by a woman, and the unknown disciple. So who was the unknown disciple? That's what we're going to find out. Okay, who could it be? Let's look at the text. This individual was familiar with the high priest, it says, and could walk into the courtyard without the fear of the guards. He had prior interactions with the Sanhedrin and the ruling council who had access to them. That's one. Two, he had a business relationship with the religious leaders, having agreed to hand over Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. He personally led the soldiers, temple guards, and religious authorities to arrest Jesus in the garden where we're at right now, to make sure he collected the bounty money. Verse 2. "Now Judas, who betrayed him, also knew the place you're sitting right now, for Jesus often met there with his disciples. So Judas, having procured a band of soldiers and some officers of the chief priests and Pharisees, went there with lanterns, torches, and weapons." So the religious leaders would have been expecting him to arrive because of the previous agreement and arrangement. It also fulfills a prophecy that you are looking at. This prophecy that the money that Judas used to betray Jesus was used to buy the potter's field, which is now called the field of blood, having been purchased with the blood money. Now, given these points, the identity of the other disciple obviously is Judas Iscariot, because it fits the context. He was the only one that didn't run away like the others because he's the one that brought the soldiers. And he's the one that had a business deal. He's the one that went up to the high priest to make sure he collected the money. So this other disciple in John 18:12, now you get the connection, is Judas Iscariot. And you're right here where Judas gave the betraying kiss and walked up there with Jesus and Peter to make sure he got his money. And you're here. And there's the gate right behind me where it all happened.